man. Today is it's March the 27th, 2024. It's your boy Chris, and we back for the second edition today of the ChrisBeCappinn NBA show. We did do a long morning show earlier today for people who had the chance to tap in and kind of go through that video. Kind of went through some live capping spots. I think it was a really great video for people who are interested in learning how to handicap the games. As we get injury news that Cam Thomas is going to be available to play for the Brooklyn Nets as they take on the Washington Wizards today. And we got a lot of other things going on in the NBA as well. So we're just going to jump right into it. I'm not going to touch on each game in too much detail, but I'll get through all of them real quick for you guys, kind of let you guys know what I was looking at, if I was thinking about placing a bet. And we'll go from there. So let's jump into it, man. We have been, pretty successful recently, coming off a 2-0 night. Golden State money line was good money, and Dallas plus the 1.5 was also good money too. Really good wins last night. Didn't have to go down to the wire, so that's always the best that you want to make. You want to be on the side that doesn't go down to the wire. So looking to keep it pushing and moving forward, up 42 units on the little over 42 units on the season. Let's jump into it for today. So first game up, we got the Warriors and we have the Orlando Magic. Warriors number coming down, back down to 4.5. Like we talked about earlier, this number was at 5.5, and money coming back in on Golden State. And I think it's for a good reason. Orlando has been really, really good this year, specifically at home as a favorite. Well rested. Third game at 3 days of rest, fifth straight home game of an 8-game home stand. And you get a Golden State team on the second leg of a back-to-back third game in 4 nights, and the third game of a 5-game road trip. But they are 9-5 straight up and against the spread when they're playing unrested this season. 4-1 straight up and against the spread in their last 5 when they're playing unrested as well. And it's 6-2 straight up and against the spread when they're playing on the road and they're playing unrested. So this is the Golden State spot. The Magic have been absolutely hooping. I couldn't get there with either side because, as I mentioned, the Orlando Magic have been good as well. 25-10 straight up at home. 24-10 against the spread at home, 7-3 straight up and against the spread in their last 10 games. And the Magic are 3-0 straight up and against the spread when they're playing against a favorite, when they're playing as a favorite against the unrested opponent. So a lot of trends that back the Orlando Magic, some trends that also back Golden State. I'm cool with sitting on the sideline. I will say Orlando has beaten Golden State 3 straight times in Orlando as well. So this matchup will be a good one. Maybe a live betting spot, but not anything I'm interested in betting. What's up, Tasha? Appreciate you for checking in. You guys got plays? Post them in the comments. Let me know what you guys are on. What's up, 36 Chambers? Nando back again. Kenneth says, yo. My guy. What's up, Jose? He's back. Tariq back as well. He says, what's up, Chris? The Warriors, he says, Chris, the Warriors is a tough game, man. One with them yesterday, I'm passing. And I feel the same exact way, Tariq. Not forcing it at this point, man. We won yesterday with Golden State. I'm cool with chilling against this Magic team, man. Magic, I said this earlier, Magic took my money against the Pelicans last week, so I'm cool with fading them right now, even though I think that the Warriors do have some matchup advantages. Not sure how tired they're going to be. You also got Jonathan Kuminga added to the injury list as well, so something to keep in mind there. Definitely something to keep in mind there. So real quick, I want to make sure I get all the injury news because there has been some injury implications. Tasha likes the Magic in the first half, minus the 2.5. You think if the Warriors win, Tasha, it'll be a come from behind win like last night against the Miami Heat? So the Magic did list Gary Harris out, and Trace Jackson Davis is listed as questionable, and Jonathan Kuminga also listed as questionable. I think Kuminga is his knee, right? Let me just double check it. I want to say it's a knee. Some left knee soreness. So definitely want the stat. Without Kuminga, I feel like you definitely don't want to bet on Golden State. It's definitely an under spot as well without Kuminga. So enough of that game. We just got Cam Thomas ruled in this one. The Brooklyn Nets be a DC tonight. They're laying 3.5 points total. Moving up now and opened at it was at 226 to come all the way down to 220 is what you guys see. Now it's trickling back up, which makes sense because Cam Thomas is a big part of their offense. Back up to 221.5 right now. Not a game that I'm interested in betting. I'll give you guys my notes, but I know I'm not betting this game. With Cam Thomas in, of course, it makes it a little more attractive for Brooklyn. This is the last of a 4-game road trip for them. They played 9 of their last 10 games on the road. This team is just 2-8 straight up, 3-7 against the spread in their last 10. They're coming off a win versus Toronto, and before that, they had actually lost 6 straight games. Washington, I'm not sure how motivated they're going to be to win, just because they have been winning. This team is won 3 games in a row. Coming off a 2-point win as a 13-point dog. They get Kuzma back. Denny Avdia's in. Tyus Jones is still out. But I know I'm not betting this game. So Brooklyn should win, but Brooklyn is really, really bad on the road. I kind of went over that earlier this season. I'm not betting this game, man. Y'all best of luck if y'all playing it. LJ likes Nicholas Claxton rebounds. What's up to my guy LJ? Sell plays. Let me go back real quick. He says, I'm not passing. Golden State plus the points. Okay. Hey, best of luck if you take it, my brother. I hope you cash it. I'm not on either. LJ likes Nicholas Claxton rebounds. My guy Munoz liked Nicholas Claxton rebounds as well when we did the prop cast. So couldn't talk you off of that. Wizards do struggle to rebound the basketball. Jamie says heavy on the Knicks first half spread. We'll talk about that game in a second. And Jose says, pass, Chris, man. Get this game out of here. And we're going to do just that, Jose. I'm going to listen to you. Let's keep it pushing. Next game, we got the Cleveland Cavaliers and the Charlotte Hornets. I really want to fade the Charlotte Hornets, man. In some way, somehow, I want to fade the Hornets. This team is, I gave you guys the numbers earlier. They are so bad, specifically on the offensive end. They've turned into the Brooklyn Nets where they shoot a ton of threes. They're not making any of them. And it's a flat spot too. First game back home off a 4-game road trip. They've actually played 8 of their last 10 games on the road, just 2-8 straight up, and it gets a spread in their last 10. They're 0-5 straight up, and it gets a spread in their last 5 as well. So not only have they not been covering spreads, they've been getting smacked by every single team that they played against. Somebody who mentioned it, Brian mentioned it earlier. He said Charlotte team total for the first half specifically under. The number is 50.5. I think that they struggle to score to get to 50 points, to get to 51 points in the first half. I think Cleveland's defense should be able to hold them down in that spot. So that'd be an honorable mention play in this game. Looking towards Charlotte to go under their team total. I shouldn't have to give you guys the numbers if you know how putrid this offense has been. It's been really, really bad. But I'll give you guys the numbers real quick. Charlotte is, let's see, at the bottom. Last 2 weeks, the Charlotte Hornets offense is 27th in points scored per 100 possessions, 29th in effective field goal percentage, 26th in offensive rebound rate, and they're last in net rating. They're 30th in net rating, minus 18.1. That's actually enough to make me want to pull the trigger, on the full game. They're losing the game by average of 18 points over the last 2 weeks. So yeah, this Charlotte team is. I'm not talking about this game no more. It's Cleveland minus the 10.5 for nothing. I don't really like taking these road favorites with these big numbers, these double digit numbers. But I can't look to. That's the only way I would be able to look at Charlotte in this game. Tariq says no play as well on that last game. Tasha says she got her Warriors minus plus 6.5 yesterday. Kenneth says, where's the propcast? I retweeted it. It's on my Twitter timeline. You can follow the propcast too through Sports Gambling Podcast Network. Myself and Munoz do a NBA prop where we only look at props, give out our top 3 props of the day. I'm gonna mention those on this show, but definitely check out the propcast if you guys haven't already. Give them a subscribe over there. They do all different sports as well. They break down total sides for all different sports. I think it's like 20 different podcasts over there. What's up to my guy, ChrisBeCappinn? Gerson says, what up, Chris? I appreciate you doing the long morning show today. I'm glad you enjoyed it, man. I know it was a lot. Hope you guys had a chance to really pay attention. A lot of good learning points in there. I was learning stuff too. That was a really, really good show this morning. I want to eventually go back and watch it myself. LJ says Hornets team total under. They're 3-10 in their last 13 games. That makes a lot of sense. Mr. Nice Guy says Cavs first half. I could not talk you off. Charlotte has been really, really bad. Really, really bad. And just playing basketball. They and it's not that they're trying to play bad. In my opinion, I've been watching Charlotte play. They just can't score. Like they literally can't score the ball. All they're doing is shooting a ton of threes. So if the Cleveland Cavaliers can get them off the 3-point line, they should be fine in this game, and they should be able to limit this Charlotte offense that's already struggling. So, yeah, that's the only way. Let's see real quick. First half post All-Star game, Charlotte is a minus 15 in the first half, and I think the spread is 6. Yeah, Cleveland should have a 6-point lead. I agree. What's up, Brian? Appreciate you for tapping back in. Tariq likes that first half for Cavs as well. Jose likes Karis LeVert over his rebounds and assists at plus money. Okay. And Jamie says also that underplay has me nervous, but we'll see. That Bill underplay has me nervous, but we'll discuss later. Yeah, we will get to that game because I'm waiting for the injury report, but I'm probably gonna pull the trigger there. All right, so let's keep it pushing. Next game up, like I said, we're going through kind of quick. But if you want my thoughts on all these games, man, just go back and watch the morning show. We did a deep dive into all of the games this morning, super early on the morning show. So next game up, we got the Portland Trail Blazers and Atlanta Hawks. This was a game that I couldn't get involved with because I wanted to know the status of DeJounte Murray, and it looks like we still don't know the status of DeJounte Murray. He's still listed as questionable with the back soreness, which makes this game unplayable. It's really just that simple, in my opinion. He has some lower back soreness. Atlanta quick revenge spot. They did just lose as 4-point favorites in Portland on the 13th, so about 2 weeks ago. They lost 106 to 102. But the Atlanta Hawks not in the greatest spot. This is a third straight home game, but they're on the first leg of a back-to-back with the Boston Celtics tomorrow. They do have back-to-back wins against the Charlotte Hornets and the Boston Celtics as well. In Portland, they've really just been trying any kind of lineup out there. They started the all-rookie lineup. They actually looked competitive in the first half of the last game against the Houston Rockets, and then they still end up losing the game and not covering. So this is another team that's really going to struggle to score the basketball. Jeremy Grant, I think, hasn't been ruled out yet. I haven't seen him officially ruled out. And you want to wait on that news because he hasn't played, so he's probably fresh when he does play. But without the status of DeJounte Murray, I don't really even want to cap the game, and I'm not laying a big number like this with the Atlanta Hawks either, especially on the first leg of a back-to-back. Jeremy Grant did we get that news? He's still game time decision. Matisse Thybulle game time decision. DeAndre Ayton game time decision. So yeah, this one makes it unplayable. Only thing we do know is that the Anthony Simons is out. So no play on this game for me. Best of luck if you guys are putting any action on that game. Next game up, we got the Clippers and the 76ers. Game will be played in Philly. You get a Clippers team that has a pretty clean injury report. First time in a while. 1 day's rest, first game of a 4-game road trip, third game in 4 nights, and a fourth game in 6 nights. This team has not been looking good. Just 4-6 straight up, 3-7 against the spread in their last 10, 1-5 against the spread in their last 6 as well. And I mentioned this on the morning show, but Coach Tyronn Lue did call them soft in their post-game interview on Monday. One of the beat writers asked, what's the identity of this team? And he said, I guess soft. That's an identity. He says we're soft physically, we're soft mentally. I think the Clippers bounced back in this spot. Now, did I play them? I absolutely didn't, because we know why. Their defense has been absolutely terrible, man. This team is not playing any defense. They're the worst 3-point defense in the league. They're the worst defense in the league as well. Last 5 games, this team is just giving up a ton of points left and right. Philly did just beat them, so it is a quick revenge spot. They beat them on Sunday, 121 to 107. They were 9-point dogs in that spot. And for Philly, it's not the greatest spot either. Only 1 day's rest is a standalone home game after a 4-game road trip. They actually go back on the road to play the Cleveland Cavaliers on Friday. So I can't lay points with the Clippers right now, but I do think it's a get right spot for the Clippers. So it'd be Clippers or nothing for me. But I mentioned on the morning show that, all of the things that the Clippers don't do well. So unless they bring that energy and effort to kind of correct some of those things they're doing wrong on the defensive end, the Sixers can still cover this game, because I mentioned this on the morning show. All of the things that the Clippers don't do well is what the Sixers do well. The Clippers don't defend the fast break. The 76ers love to get out and push. The Clippers don't defend the 3-point line. The Sixers love to shoot and make a ton of threes. So should be a Clipper spot, but they're going to have to bring it on the defensive end. If they bring it on the defensive end, which I'm guessing is what the books are expecting, because you see the total dropping in this one. Philly's offense hasn't been great. And the Clippers, defensively, the way that the total is projecting in this game, it seems like the Clippers are going to play a lot better defense, because 215 seemed like you should just take the over. But the crazy thing is that the game actually opened at like 218, 219. So game's gone, total is a lot of money coming in on the under in this spot. Let's see what you guys are saying here. S-Dot says, what up, Chris? Not glad you cashed on your Golden State bet. Hey, S-Dot, I hope you didn't play on your Miami Heat yesterday. Got to know when to fade them, my brother. Jabari says DeJounte over his points and assists. I think it's because Portland is close to his hometown, but he's killing them for the past few years. Yeah, if he plays and he's going to be 100% be out there, I could see it. I could absolutely see it. But I'm interested to know if he plays today, if he'll play tomorrow. Today's a non-conference game against Portland. Tomorrow's a conference game against the Boston Celtics. Jose says he likes the over in this one. Baby Money 2020 says Wiggins 4 rebounds is plus money. LJ likes Zubac rebounds in this spot. And Baby Money also likes Terrence Mann threes and Mo Bamba 6 rebounds. Okay. Jose likes that under full game. Troy says it's a Clipper spot. He says good number up to a 7.5 he likes. And Zubac rebounds. I actually think that, looking at the game, and this was something that I meant to write down earlier. I actually think that I'm gonna write it down now. I think that if you like the Clippers in this spot, I think it could be a first half spot for the Clippers. Especially after getting called out the way that they did. You don't want to lay the full number. We remember the Clippers were in this spot not too long ago, laying about the same number. It was about 6.5. They were in Houston, and they won that game, and they didn't cover. I think they failed to cover by like a point. To me, that really, really stood out. And when you need a team to win by 6.5, you really need them to win by 10, so you're not sweating. You don't want them to win by 7. So if you like the Clippers, you land this number, you do expect a double-digit win. You'll take an 8-point win, but you're looking for a double-digit win. You don't want it to be that close to the number. So first half for the Clippers, if they're going to bounce back, probably seems like the better spot. You just need them to be up by 2 possessions in the first half, and like I said, the Sixers could come out super flat. So that's pending the Clippers decide they want to play some defense. So we'll see how it goes. Tariq says I'm not a prop guy, but I can sprinkle on Maxey and Kawhi points. I think Kawhi could have a really big game here. I really, really do. Tasha does too. She says Kawhi to score the most is plus 230. And then what do you Capper see? He says at Tariq, I said that all last season. I'm not a prop guy, but still bet props. They killed me. I remember that, RC. We did a lot of shows last year. So Tasha likes Kawhi to score the most points in this game at plus 230. Could not talk you off of that, Tasha. He could really, really turn up in this spot. All right, let's keep it pushing. It'd be it'd be Clippers first half for me if I was playing that game, but I didn't bet it in all transparency. Next game up, we got the New York Knickerbockers, and they will be in Toronto. Injury news in this one is that Mitchell Robinson looks like he's going to be available to play. Expected to get some minutes. Pretty sure he won't play heavy minutes. And that just adds even more rebounding to this New York Knicks team, more defensive prowess. Toronto doesn't have centers outside of Kelly Olynyk, who's more like a power forward. They got Grady Dick at the power forward, which is crazy to me. They'll still be without, I think Alex Burke is a game time decision as well. No OG and no Julius Randle, of course. So Alex Burke is questionable. He didn't play in that last game. Potentially could play in this one. And on the other side, Toronto, I'm not going to list all the injuries. It's the same thing. They got Freeman Liberty out there, who actually isn't bad if you guys had a chance to watch him play. Gary Trent Jr., Obaji. This is not a real team, in my opinion, the Toronto side. And that's one of the reasons why I took the Knicks. I gave them out. Actually, the first bet that I made, I took them first half. First half minus whatever number I gave out earlier. I think it was 7.5. I do expect them to be winning by double digits here. No look ahead spot. They got the Spurs on deck. The Knicks do. Spurs on deck on Friday. 7-3 straight up, 6-3 against the spread in their last 10. And Toronto 0-10 straight up, 3-7 against the spread in their last 10. Toronto is actually going under in 7 straight games because they can't score the basketball. And it's major matchup advantages for the Knicks in this game. I went through them earlier, and I'll just touch on a couple of them real quickly. But last 6 game stats, just first half stats. Last 6 game stats, Toronto is a minus 14.4 in the first half. The Knicks are plus 12.2. So that should bode well for the Knicks. They're winning the first half by double digits. The Toronto Raptors are losing the first half by double digits. When you look at this game from X's and O's perspective, Brunson should be able to get whatever it is that he wants. You get a Toronto defense that's 27th in rim frequency. So they allow teams to get to the rim at the 3rd highest rate, and opponents are shooting the second highest rate. The second highest accuracy at the rim. So I see Brunson getting to the rim, kicking to his 3-point guys. The Knicks have been knocking down a ton of catch and shoot threes, specifically the corner ones to DiVincenzo and McBride, of course. They're hooping right now. The Knicks also top 10 in transition frequency and accuracy over the last 2 weeks. Toronto's bottom 6 in both of those defensive metrics. And the Knicks, if they do miss a shot, they should get all the rebounds. They're third best offensive rebounding team over the last 2 weeks, while Toronto is allowing the second most offensive rebounds. Should lead to a lot of easy stickbacks from Mitchell Robinson, Isaiah Hartenstein, and Josh Hart. So I did play the Knicks first half minus the 7.5. And then while we was doing the live show, I also gave out that team total as well. I locked that in on Bet365 at 99.5. I don't think Toronto sniffs 100 points in this game. So I did play that one as well. It's the game that I feel the most confident in is that game. I just want to double check real quick and see if that team total is still available. Yeah, it's crazy. Toronto team total actually got better. It's crazy how this has been working because I gave you guys a minus 120 earlier, and Bet365 actually got it now at 99.5 minus 115. So you save 5 cents if you bet Toronto team total under right now, and I already played it. Let's see what you guys are saying here. Tasha says points in this game. DJ says Hart rebounds. The Knicks could easily go over their team total. It's 112.5. I can see them scoring 115 points. And Tasha says that. She says Knicks team total over 113.5. What's up, Rick Parker? I'm sorry. Appreciate you for tapping in. Free Sauce says we fade Kelly Olynyk heavy. You must be with the other Chris. I know he's been fading Kelly Olynyk heavily, and that makes a ton of sense, especially in this matchup. Whatever Kelly Olynyk points, rebounds, and assists are, I'd definitely be looking towards the under. Jose likes the Toronto team total under. Douglas also like a Kelly Olynyk under his 25.5 points, rebounds, and assists. He said it's been cashing. Jonathan Kuminga just got rolled out. Yeah, that's gonna make life really difficult. If you want the Magic, it's a good time to go invest in them right now. This Golden State team is gonna be also a good time to invest in the under because Kuminga really helps that offense a lot. I'm not betting it, but yeah, if you guys want to be involved, good time to go do that with the news just breaking on one of these slow sports books. Ayo DeSumo listed as probable. This is why I got to hurry up and get off the show so I can get these bets in too. McBride, points, rebounds, and assists. Free Saul says he also likes Toronto team total under 100.5. He likes Brunson assists. And he says, and we fading Kelly Olynyk. Okay. What's up, Mark Nick? Appreciate you for tapping in. Tariq says, I tailed the Knicks first half. I added the Raptors team total under this morning. Hopefully we cash both of those, Tariq. Hart under 31.5 points, rebound, and assists, down to 29.5. The only Seth says. Best of luck if you're taking Josh Hart under. Free Saul says, yeah, that number is a tad bit too high. LJ likes the Knicks first quarter. He says they're 6-1 against the spread in the first quarter on the road versus the division since November. Let's remember Toronto's 0-11 straight up, 3-10 against the spread versus the division. Knicks should have no issues in this game. Makes a ton of sense to me, LJ. Tosin says, would you take Knicks to score 100 in 3 quarters? I would not, Tosin. The only way I like best like the Knicks to score 100 in 3 quarters is if I think that they have to. The Knicks could win this game 69-44 if they wanted to. They could walk the ball up the floor, never push the pace, and hold this Raptors team to 35 points if they really wanted to. So I don't know that Thibodeau, how many points are the Raptors going to score? If the Knicks got 100 through 3 quarters, the Raptors going to have what, at least 60, right? And then at that point, yeah, I just don't think this game adds up to be that many. 100 seems like a lot when their team total for the full game is only 113. But those are just my thoughts. Let's see. Douglas says, watch Kelly have the game of his life. Kelly Olynyk, I don't think so. Not in this one. I could be totally wrong. We never know what's going to happen until it happens, but I don't think so. Free Sauce also likes Gary Trent Jr. under his points. And yeah. Two plays for me in this game. We'll see how they go, man. But first half on the Knicks and Raptors team total under. Next game, not one that I'm heavily involved in and not interested in as much. The Detroit Pistons and the Minnesota Timberwolves game we played in Minnesota. You got Detroit getting 15.5 points. It's crazy because they're getting 15.5 points. And that's what Cade Cunningham rolled in. And that's what Jalen Duren rolled in as well. Let me just update the injury report just to make sure. But yeah, Cade Cunningham is a game time decision. I guess he could potentially be ruled out. Well, I guess he's listed. Now I see him listed as questionable. So he's questionable with knee rest or whatever you want to call it. And now Jaden Ivey's been downgraded as well He's listed as questionable with some left knee soreness. So Detroit throwing in the towel, man, waving the white flag. I think they want to be done with the season. Fontecchio, Taj Gibson, and Quentin Grimes also all listed as out in this game. Those guys won't be available. And Sasser also, I think Sasser is listed as probable when I looked earlier. He's going to play. Sasser could play in this game. Could be a look towards Sasser, especially if Cade doesn't play. On the opposite side, you got Mike Conley and Rudy Gobert still listed as questionable. That means a ton to this spread, man. So I can't play this game. I'm off of it. No need to even really talk about it too much, honestly. Minnesota got a big game against Denver on Friday. They could potentially be looking ahead. Trace Jackson-Davis will play in Orlando tonight. So Kuminga out, Trace Jackson-Davis in. All right, so let's keep it pushing. No play in this Pistons and Timberwolves game. Next game, Lakers and the Grizzlies. Let's see. Hold on. My man Sauce in the chat. He says, of course, I tune in and Chris is trying to place a bet on the Detroit-Minnesota game. Absolutely not, Kyle. I'm not betting that game. I just wanted to share notes. Absolutely not in that game. I like your New York Knicks today, Kyle. Your New York Knicks first half in the Toronto team total under 99.5 was the plays that I liked the most today. Just keeping it super simple, super safe. Just seems like the things that have been hidden. Following the patterns here. All right, so next game, we got the Lakers and the Grizzlies. I went over this one earlier this morning on the live stream, man, and I told you guys that, first of all, Anthony Davis, which we said, playing 52 minutes, that left knee soreness, probably wasn't going to play. He did pop up on the injury report listed as questionable. I think that he's probably going to get the night off. If the Lakers really want to make a deep run, they can't be playing Anthony Davis he was literally getting that knee looked at every single time out. So LeBron James going to have to lead the team. I think that he's due to lead the team today. I do think that he comes back. I told you guys this morning that the Lakers kind of, they did what they were supposed to do last night. LeBron got to come in and help the team. And the young guys got to come in and play well in this spot. D'Angelo Russell, Austin Reeves, Rui Hachimura. It's a couple young guys on this Laker team that should still be able to get the job done. And I told you guys that, I didn't necessarily, I'm not playing the Lakers. I'm not playing this game either. Maybe something live, but Memphis is in an advantageous spot. Not the greatest spot because they're coming back home off the road trip. But anytime you can catch a team off of a double overtime win as a dog that's unrested, oh, man, it has to be a play on spot, right? So the trend I gave you guys this morning was, I thought I wrote it down. Here we go. So unrested road favorites off an outright overtime win as a road dog, 7-12 straight up, 4-15 against the spread, dating back to the 2016 season. You also got to remember that there's some playoff revenge as well because the Lakers swept the Memphis Grizzlies. Did they sweep them? I don't think they swept them. I think Memphis might have won a game. They won a game last year, so it's always going to be some bad blood between the teams. And Memphis, they do have Desmond Bane. They do have Jared Jackson Jr. You still got Santi Aldama, Gigi Jackson. And Brandon Clark could, if he plays, I don't know how effective he's going to be, but he's at least going to make it more difficult for the Lakers to be able to rebound the basketball. If he can't do anything else, he can at least rebound the basketball. So this was a game I definitely chose to stay off of. I'm never into backing teams, especially my team, on the second leg of a back-to-back third game in 4 nights. Coming off an overtime game as an outright favorite, off a double overtime game. And just when you bet on the Lakers, that's when they'll take your money. If you stay off of them, that's when they'll it'll be, you might be fine. So definitely not taking anything in this game, but just wanted to kind of give you guys a note. I'm also not betting on Memphis. Maybe if you like the Lakers, you look early just because they have, if they run out of gas, it may potentially be late. No way I'm betting this game, though. Tasha says teams with the highest 3-point field goal in the game is the Timberwolves. So I think she likes that bet. Chris going back, he says Kuminga out is pretty big. Yeah, I agree. I told you guys if you wanted to go to state, if you want Golden State, wait. But if you want Orlando, you should have ran to the window when Kuminga got rolled out. He means a lot to that offense for sure. Free sauce like Bane over his 18.5 points. Kyle says, I told you on that Toronto team total under. Let's cash it, Kyle. I need that money today. Toronto should not score in this game today. Free sauce going back to the Bane. He says he's attempting over 20 field goal attempts since his last 4 games back. So yeah, 18.5, he could probably get there. Lakers should have tired legs. I do kind of lean towards the over in this spot as well. It makes a ton of sense. Estat says that the line moved a whole point. I'm pretty sure he's talking about the Golden State game. Who would have ever thought Kuminga would mean a whole point to a spread in the NBA? Tasha says, what about the Lakers team total under 114.5? It scares me in this regard, Tasha. You got LeBron, who's going, be willing and dealing. And I think the Lakers don't play as much defense in this game. So that kind of scares me off taking an under. I think 114 could be about right. Memphis defense has been bottom 5 over the last 2 weeks. And I think the Lakers won't really care too much about defense in this game. I think it'll be more offense just because they are playing on the second leg of a back-to-back after all of the starters played, north of 45 minutes last night. Tasha says she did take that team total under. Best of luck, Tasha. I hope you cash it. I know I'm not playing this Laker game, though. After that roller coaster ride last night, yeah, I'm cool with chilling. I didn't play the game last night, just from a fan perspective. Joakim says Lakers 8-3 to the over on back-to-backs. That makes a ton of sense. Nasty spot for the Lakers. Free Sauce says. Jose says Lakers over LeBron points. Yeah, LeBron over his points. His points, rebounds, and assists is 42.5. I do think that that's a really, really good number. I got Munaf gave that out earlier on the Propcast. He does love that look a lot. And Morgan says he grabbed the Golden State plus 5.5 last night. I still like it without Kuminga. Brzezinski will hold it down. I don't know if Brzezinski going to be able to do what Kuminga do, but I wish you best of the luck, Morgan. I think they need both, but we'll see how that goes. Markel says, I sprinkle LeBron triple-double. Nothing crazy with James Harden triple-double. Okay. Those could cash here, Markel. LeBron will have the ball in his hands a lot, I do predict. Let's see. Morgan says cash Lakers plus 9.5 in the money line and over yesterday. Didn't deserve any of those wins, though. That's a fact. You definitely did not, but I'm glad you cashed them, man. I was not on the opposite side of any of those. Couple more games to get to real quick. And like I said, I don't even have a lean on the Lakers game. Maybe, like I said, maybe something live, maybe look towards the Lakers early. But you definitely want to wait to see if LeBron is going to be ruled in, which I do anticipate, and see what's going to happen with Anthony Davis as well. So Pacers and the Bulls. I talked about this one earlier, and I can make really, really valid points for both teams. Real quick, injury report wise, did Aaron Nesmith get listed in or out? He is still a game time decision, and I think that means a ton to this game. I talked about it earlier, but as a defender, especially going against a team that loves to shoot mid-range shots like the Chicago Bulls do, knowing how bad the Pacers are defensively against the mid-range shot, Aaron Nesmith means a lot. So he's questionable with a knee. And then also you got TJ McConnell, who is listed as questionable as well due to some left ankle soreness. So both of those guys, if you know anything about the Pacers, they have the number one bench in the league. And a lot of that is because of TJ McConnell. He's an excellent quarterback for that second unit. On the opposite side, you got Caruso, who's also listed as a game time decision. And it's left ankle sprain for him as well. So it's a difficult game, man. The Pacers are not in the greatest spot. This is the last game of a 5-game road trip, first game back on the East Coast. And they have a potential look-ahead spot against the Lakers in that double revenge game now on Friday. The Bulls have not looked great, just 3-7 against the spread in their last 10, 3 straight losses, 4 straight non-covers for them. And you do get a revenge spot for the Pacers here, but I gave you guys some numbers earlier, right? I talked about the spot for the Pacers. So the Pacers should want to revenge their loss against the Bulls. They just lost one. What was it? Bulls just beat them in overtime. It was a high-scoring game on March 13th in Indiana. So the road team has won every single matchup between the two teams. The Bulls came into Indiana, won the first one. The Indiana goes into Chicago, wins the second one. The Bulls go back into Indiana, win the third one. And now you got the Pacers trying to avenge that loss. Major matchup advantages for the Pacers when you talk about at the rim. The Pacers live at the rim. They're 8th in frequency, 2nd in accuracy over the last 2 weeks. The Bulls 21st in rim defensive frequency, 18th in rim defensive rim accuracy. So they're giving up a bunch of shots there. The problem with this game, though, I said this earlier, is that what the Bulls don't do well, the Pacers don't do at all. And that's the Bulls don't defend the three-point line. The Pacers don't shoot a ton of threes. They're 28th in frequency over the last 2 weeks. And the Bulls bottom 5 in defense in that category. And then on the opposite side, what the Bulls do well, the Pacers don't defend well. And I think that's been the reason why the Bulls have played the Pacers so strong this season. The Bulls like to shoot a ton of mid-range shot. That's where their advantage lies in this game. They're 14th in most mid-range shots and 4th in accuracy. And the Indiana Pacers 27th in what are they 27th in? 27th in frequency and 23rd in accuracy over the last 2 weeks from the mid-range and long-range shot. So the Bulls, they don't shoot a ton of threes. That's what the Pacers defend well. This seems like a DeMar DeRozan game where DeMar DeRozan just mid-ranges this Indiana Pacers team to death. I think he's coming off like a 40-point game against them in that last one as well. So super interesting spot because the Pacers, while it is a short number, I talked about this morning. The Pacers are 8-11 straight up, 7-11 against the spread after a win as a dog. The Pacers have actually lost the last 4 games in a row as a dog, and they haven't failed to cover all 4. The Bulls, off an embarrassing loss to the Wizards, probably want to bounce back in this spot, and they typically do. The Bulls are 8-2 straight up, 6-4 against the spread after a previous loss as a favorite, including 6-0 straight up, 5-1 against the spread in their last 5. So you got a bounce back spot and a letdown spot, both in the same game. And no play because the Pacers are clearly the better team, and they could get right tonight. Let's see. Freesaw says the only thing I like in this game is Halliburton assist per the usual. And Morgan says, damn the spot. Siakam gonna eat at the rim. I think Pacers, baby. Okay. Best of luck, Morgan. I hope you cash it, my brother. I'm off the game. T Money reminding us that SGA is out. Tariq says we can see another overtime game here. I like the over. Total is going up for sure. Joe Kim says Bulls spot, but Pacers are more motivated, and Bulls only playing for home court advantage for the play-in. That is true. He says Pacers trying to lock up a playoff spot and possibly move up as well, but definitely need TJ in there. You need TJ and Aaron Nesmith, in my opinion. Without TJ McConnell, I think the total goes under. And without Nesmith, I think the total goes over. So yeah, it's very conflicting. You also got to wait on Caruso too, because the Bulls are a different team without him. BG Platinum says, looking at the Grizzlies team total live if they start slow. And Jose talking to Tasha. Estai says, let's go Bulls for selfish reasons, though. He must need something for the Heat. And Tasha says, I've been hit. She says, I've been hit that last 3 weeks straight. What you talking about? What y'all talking about, Tasha? The 3-point prop. 3-point prop. Atlanta should be good in that game. Okay. All right. We got a couple more games to get to real quick. Next game up, we got the Spurs and the Jazz. Jazz now laying 4.5 points. And the injury status, got to talk about that real quick. You got Victor Wembanyama still on the injury report, listed as questionable. It's an ankle injury for him. They kept him out of that last game against the Phoenix Suns. And you also got Keldon Johnson listed on the injury report as well. It's a knee injury for Keldon Johnson. He did play in that last game when they beat the Phoenix Suns the other day. So on the opposite side, Clarkson out. Chris Dunn serving his last game of the little 2-game suspension after the dust up with Jabari Smith Jr. Lauri Markkanen was listed as questionable. He is in for this game. And you see the line. This line was at 2.5 this morning. It's up to 4.5. I still can't get there with Utah. Utah could potentially win this game. San Antonio is one of those Jekyll and Hyde teams, man, where, the last 2 games, I think, are a perfect way to describe the the San Antonio Spurs. The Phoenix Suns come into town and beat them by 40, and then they beat the Phoenix Suns outright. It's like double-digit dogs without Victor Wembanyama. So, yeah, that's why I never play Spurs games. I'm also not putting my hard-earned money on the Jazz, man. If you guys are, I totally understand. I'm not betting the Jazz. I'm not betting the Spurs. Can't get there with either one of them. I'm not sure who wants to win the game more, and I'm definitely not laying 2 possessions with a Jazz team that is really, really poor defensively. So no play for me. Jazz only 1-9 straight up, 3-7 against the spread in their last 10. Spurs also still a top 10 defensive rated team over the last 2 weeks as well. So they could come in here and, shake things up against the Jazz a little bit, but it's no play for me. I'm definitely staying off of the game. Definitely want to see if Victor Wembanyama plays, though, if you want to play this game, in my opinion. Let's see. Free Sauce says Pacers team total over 118.5 has hit in the last 4 and 3 of the last 4 against Chicago. Okay. Estai likes the under in this Spurs and Jazz game. Joakim says over 228, ? Fast-paced team who don't play defense. I would only look towards the over. The only problem with that is the Spurs can really struggle to score at times, but they are playing against the Jazz though. Against the Jazz. So yeah, I guess that wouldn't talk me off too much. Let's match these two teams up real quick. Let me give you some numbers real quick on this game. San Antonio, man, they always do it though. Like you never can guess what version of San Antonio you're going to get. They gave up 130 points against the Phoenix Suns, and then they come back and they hold Phoenix to 102. like how do you figure out which Spurs defense you're going to get? Who knows, man? And that was what their defense played better without Victor Wembanyama, who's like 30 feet tall. Like make it make sense, man. I never bet Spurs game for that reason because if I'm on the wrong side, I'm gonna be frustrated with myself. But like I said, San Antonio defensively 10th. San Antonio offensively last 2 weeks, bottom 4 in points scored per 100 possessions and effective field goal percentage. So not the greatest spot. But the Jazz defense is bottom. They're 29th in opponent points allowed per 100 possessions, 28th in opponent effective field goal percentage, and they're not forcing any turnovers. So San Antonio should be able to score, but I'm not putting my money on it. What up to my guy Justin? Appreciate you for tapping in, Justin. Hope all is well with you, my brother. Good to see you in the chat, man. Tariq says pass as well. Marketing in play. Yeah, marketing should be in play. What do you think of Desmond over? No look. I don't even know what the number is, Sparity. Free Sauce says he'll pass on this game. A lot of good sports tonight. Don't force anything. Good spots tonight, I think you mean. LA Mackin says he's willing to lay the money line with the Utah Jazz. I hope you got a good number on that money line, LA Mackin. All right, let's keep pushing. Suns and Nuggets, and then I got to go back because I forgot to create a graphic for the Rockets in the Thunder game. So Suns and Nuggets, we talked about this one earlier this morning as well. I still haven't pulled the trigger. I was kind of waiting to see what happened with the news, man, and I kind of feel like this is what happens to me a lot of the times. So I'm gonna keep it a buck with y'all. When I finish the show, I typically go take a shower. After I take a shower, I eat dinner. After I eat dinner, between the time that I get done with the show and I go take a shower and I put my phone down for a second to talk to my son, all of the other injury news that don't break on the show breaks. And then I'm super late to the number. And that really pisses me off because I know I like to get the best of the number. So I need to go ahead and lock in Denver. I'm going to play them no matter what. I'm going to go ahead and take them now. But I haven't locked this in, which is why I haven't sent it out. But I am taking Denver in the first half in this game. It's for a bunch of reasons. I talked about them earlier this morning on the morning show. So let's just jump right into that. First of all, you get the big revenge spot. Nurkic and Bradley Beal also listed as questionable, even though on the opposite side, Aaron Gordon and Michael Porter Jr., Aaron Gordon and Jamal Murray are as well. Michael Porter Jr. listed as probable. I think he's going to play. But regardless, Jokic is going to be out there. So you get a bounce back spot for Phoenix Suns because they did lose to the San Antonio Spurs, which I could care less nothing about. They shouldn't have did that. And actually, if you go through and look at the Suns' record, they could potentially miss the playoffs. That was a game. That was the last easy game that they had on their schedule. This Suns team is about to run up against a really tough it's crazy what they about to run into. After they play Denver tonight, they got OKC in OKC. They got New Orleans in New Orleans. They got Cleveland, Minnesota, New Orleans again, all at home. Then they got to play the Clippers, the Sacramento Kings, and the Minnesota Timberwolves. So, they might have pissed their season away because the Lakers actually got a much better schedule, and they could potentially get out of the play-in, only 2 games behind the Phoenix Suns. And honestly, I think the Lakers end up with a better record than the Phoenix Suns. That's totally off topic, but Phoenix really, really shot themselves in the foot in that last game, and it's only upward climbing from here. And a couple of these games are in third and fourth spots. Whoever made the schedule, the schedule makers, they hate the Phoenix Suns. They absolutely hate Phoenix, bro. Phoenix is not in a great spot. All of these teams, not just playoff teams, these teams are top 4 seeded playoff teams. Every single one of them that they play are top 4 seed. So yeah, good luck to the Phoenix Suns for the rest of the season. They got what they deserved in the last game for losing to San Antonio, just being super inconsistent. And they could potentially bounce back here. I could care less. Denver 8-1-1 against the spread in their last 10 home games, 7-2 in their last 10 games in the first half. I'm sorry, are the Denver Nuggets 7-2-1 against the spread in their last 10 in the first half at home. Phoenix just 4-6 against the spread in their last 10 first half overall, and it's a big revenge spot, like I said, for the Denver Nuggets. Also, Denver plus 6.2 in net rating in the first half this season. We know that they've been better in the first half than they've been for the full game. That's good for fifth. But since the All-Star break, they're actually a plus 14.9. So winning the first half by about 15 points, that's actually good for second behind only Boston, who's winning the first half by like 100 every single game. Denver's also a plus 8.7 in point differential in the first half in revenge spots this season as a home favorite. So I love Phoenix in the first half. Like I said, I really wanted this to wait, make sure that those guys were going to play so I can get the best of the number. But if they get ruled in, Jamal Murray and Aaron Gordon get ruled in, which I think that they're going to play anyway, I'm going to get the tail end of the line. It's probably going to be 5.5. I think it's some 4s available right now. And this is the one bet that I haven't placed today that I'm probably am going to play. Ain't no probably. I am going to play it, but I haven't locked it in yet. Just kind of got busy. So Denver first half for me is the play in this game. Let's see what you guys are saying here. Jamie says, I want to press the button for Bill under, but I'm waiting so we win or go down swinging together. Okay. So I'm gonna get to the 3 props in a second, Jamie, but I'm gonna actually put a star right here on this comment because you made me think about the props. I didn't write the props down with the plays, but there are 3 prop looks that I like for tonight. Nuggets trifecta, Jongim says, revenge spot for the Nuggets. It could potentially be. I'm not on the full game, but I'm gonna take the first half. Wimby says, what about the Nuggets full game? Suns always seem to lose touch fourth quarter. I agree. And I also think Bradley Beal's not going to play in this game. Well, if he plays, he's not going to be effective. If anybody watched, he jammed his ring finger, sprained his ring finger, and actually had to get it taped against the San Antonio Spurs. That's what they get for BSing out there. So yeah, he didn't practice yesterday. Nurkic also stepped on Jeremy Sohan's ankle, rolled it pretty bad. He could potentially not be in. And I told you guys earlier on the morning show, man, without Nurkic, this team is not the same. The Suns need Nurkic in order to be successful. Because, like I said, I said this earlier this morning, thoughts and prayers to Drew Eubanks. He's going to have his hands full tonight. So, Nuggets first half, you can get a 3.5 right now on ESPN Bet. Later juice at minus 125, or you can just get the 4. There's some 4s available. I see one on DraftKings at minus 112. I also see one on Bet 365 at minus 110. So that's where I'll be involved on. I'll be involved on Nuggets first half. Matter of fact, I'm gonna play it right now. So just so I don't forget. And if I get the worst of the number because one of those guys get ruled out, I'll take that L. I'm cool with that. But I'm gonna go ahead and lock it in because of the revenge spot here. Nuggets first half, minus the 4, minus 110 on Bet 365. If you guys are for the members, I'm about to send it out right now so you guys can see it. Already gave out the write up or the analysis around it. But yeah, I'm going Denver first half minus the 4 here. If they don't cover, I'll come back to them because I do think that they win the game. Let's see, Michael, appreciate you for joining the membership, for becoming a member, Michael. Now, Michael, I want to make sure I say this because somebody just DM'd me the other day, and I said it earlier this morning as well. If you join as a member on the channel, you have to join at the ChrisBeCappinn level tier because it's 2 tiers. The first tier is only to support the channel, where it's like $2.99 or something like that. That is to support the channel because you're here all the time. You love the analysis. You love interacting with the community, that type of thing. If you want access to the plays that I make when I make them, you will get an email every single time that I make a play if you're in the ChrisBeCappinn community tier. So just something to kind of take into consideration. I'm not sure which level you joined at, but I wanted to make sure I mentioned that because somebody mentioned it to me. Chris, we're going to get into the OKC game in a second. Justin says Nuggets minus the 4.5 for the first half for him, and he took the Nuggets team total over, both on his card. Let's cash him tonight, Justin. I like both of them. Tasha says she got Denver at the 3.5. Yeah, like I said, 3.5 is available only on ESPN Bet right now at minus 125. I'll drink a little bit less of the juice here, and take the push if they do end up covering. If they win about 4 at halftime, I'll take the push versus winning the bet here. What's up, CAC React? Appreciate you for tapping in. He says late to the show, but let's get some cash. BG Platinum says I was planning on riding first half Nuggets yesterday, but since the Suns embarrassed themselves last game, I'm a little nervous. Yeah, I say the Suns embarrassed themselves, and the Nuggets got embarrassed in the last matchup between these two teams. So that's one of the reasons why I don't feel as bad. But I understand your hesitation. I definitely understand your hesitation. This is what I said: barbecue chicken with Drew Eubanks on Jokic if he doesn't play. Yeah, that's definitely some barbecue chicken. All right, so let's get to the last game. Like I said, I didn't make a graphic for it. And I don't want to play it now because I missed the best of the number. But let me see. But let's just get to the next game, and I'll give you guys the other looks as well because I now have 3 plays that I've made so far. So going to the last game, we got the and somehow I still made the show 52 minutes. I've been recording for 4 hours today doing shows. 2 hours, an hour, and an hour. All right, so Houston OKC. This line is now down to it's down to what, 4? It was at 4.5, right? Yeah, 4.5 is what it came down to. Of course, the big news here is SGA has been rolled out. He will not play in this game. I didn't even get a chance to look into the advanced numbers to see what that looks like. But I would think that it would mean more than 3 points to the spread. Those were my initial thoughts when I was looking at it, watching the line drop. Not wanting to jump in and make a play. It's really hard to fade Houston here. Of course, right? I mean, I think that's a natural instinct. 9-1 straight up and against the spread in their last 9, their last 10, and then 6-0 straight up and against the spread in their last 6 as well. This team has been absolutely hooping. 1 day's rest for them versus an unrested OKC team that is 7-4 straight up and against the spread when they're unrested, and even better, I think they're 5-1 when they're unrested and playing at home. You also get the revenge spot for Houston here. OKC has beaten them twice this season, and Houston beat them in the first matchup. So it's still a big number, and it's still Houston and nothing for me. I just didn't bet the game. Really difficult to look past Houston right now. I gave you guys the numbers earlier this morning, but it's crazy to think that, this this Houston team is actually the second best team in basketball after the All-Star break, behind only, you guessed it, the Boston Celtics. It used to be Utah. It never was Utah. It used to be OKC. OKC was the second best team in the league. But when we're looking at net rating, Houston actually has the number 1 net rating over the last 2 weeks. They're plus 21.7. Boston's actually third at plus 14.5. Houston, 4th rated defensive team, only giving up about 107.5 points per 100 possessions, 4th in opponent effective field goal percentage. They're just doing a really good job at all defensive aspects of the game. And their offense, also second best offensive rated team over the last 2 weeks, going to almost damn near 130 points per game, right behind the Boston Celtics. They're 4th in effective field goal percentage on the offensive end, never turning the ball over. Fred VanVleet does a really good job of taking care of the ball, 5th fewest turnovers, and they're the second best offensive rebounding team. And that's where, OKC can struggle at times. So I didn't play the game. I would have loved to got the best of the number when SGA got ruled out, but I saw it 10 minutes after it happened, and the line was already down to 4.5. So it's a stay away for me. But I think I'm kind of leaving money on the table because I feel like Houston can win this game outright. Those are just my thoughts, if I'm being honest with you guys. Yep, that's how I feel. That is how I feel. Real quick, because when I looked into this earlier, I talked about, you know what? If you guys are gonna stay on here for a second, let's just look into it real quick. Let's look at OKC with SGA off the floor before we get up out of here, and I give you guys a recap of everything that I did bet. So without SGA this season, I saw him take that big fall last night, man. I was a little worried for my guy. Now he's missing the game. Not that they won't come out here and play hard, because they still will. But Houston got to win now. I mean, they still got to win because Golden State won last night. So without SGA on the floor, this team has 1,795 possessions. They're minus 0.5. They are 30th ranked in points scored per 100 possessions, only averaging about 112 points. And defensively, they're pretty good. They rank in the 80th percentile, giving up about 112 points as well. But their free throw rate drops a lot. We know SGA shoots a lot of free throws for this team, so it makes sense. 9th worst free throw shooting team, and their turnover percentage actually goes up as well. You know what? I'm about to take Houston, man. I'm gonna take them plus the 4.5. I ain't scared. I'll take them. I'm gonna take Houston. Yeah, I'll take Houston. I'm getting on Houston. Riding with Houston here. I'll take the 4.5. Let me just make sure it's not a 5 out there. That'll be another bet that I place today. Yeah, I gave a nice detailed breakdown earlier as well. It was already Houston and nothing. Let me see if there's any 5s out there. I still got a line shot, right? Make sure I get the best of the number. But I like Houston. And I can get them +5. +5 for the Houston Rockets on DraftKings, on Bet Rivers, on Unibet. I get a -109 on Unibet. I can't play Unibet because they limit me. But Bet Rivers I can, and DraftKings. Bet Rivers I can save 3 cents by shopping at Bet Rivers. I know a lot of people don't have it. We'll go official with the +5 for the Houston Rockets. I'll take the Rockets here. Let's see what you guys are saying about this one. Fred says, "What rock with you on Denver first half?" I saw someone said Dort points, rebounds, and says over. I'm on his under. Well, I was on his under. I haven't locked this in yet, but I'm gonna talk about the spread, the prop plays in a second. Fred, appreciate you for tapping in as always, my brother. Daniel says I took the Hornets team total under and the Raptors team total under. Love both of those, Daniel. Best of luck. Hope you cash them. Appreciate you, free sauce for tapping in, bro. He says he loved the insight, and yeah, I appreciate that. Shelton, new member. Appreciate you for tapping in and becoming a member as well. Love to see new members being added to the community, man. Since SGA is out, Joakim says, if the Rockets double team and trap Jalen Williams, how does it play out? Can Thunder cope? Lean it over 226, but it's tricky. I would only look towards the under now. Like I said, Houston has been the best, fourth best defensive team, only allowing about 107 points per 100 possessions. The other thing that Houston does well, we know that they've been getting out and running in transition. Houston loves to run. The Thunder, they're the best transition defense in the league. So I think that could slow the pace down in this game. Thunder also shooting a ton of threes. But the Rockets have been solid. They've been elite defensively, man. That's why I'm taking them. I'm taking them +5. I haven't done it yet, but I will. Free Sauce says Chet don't do well on back-to-backs either. Damn, Munchie Bet says he sees the Nuggets -3.5 at -120 on BetMGM. I already played it now, Munchie, but I like the 3.5. Why didn't that pop up on my sports book? That didn't pop up on OddsJam. Let's see. Yeah, I see 4.5. But yeah, if you can get a 3.5 -120, yeah, I think that's a good number. I laid a 20 cent, but I'm laying a 10 cent. Rockets numbers are inflated. They've been playing a bunch of cupcakes. Joe can say, okay, we'll see how that goes. Or 1991 says Clippers, Nuggets, Thunders. If you would pick 2 or 3 to parlay on the money line. I'd definitely be playing the Clippers. I think it's a bounce back spot. I just don't like the number. I'm not laying with them. And it definitely be Nuggets. Clippers, Nuggets, money line parlay. What's the odds on that? I could definitely run that as well. Clippers, Nuggets, money line parlay. LAC plus Denver. What's that? Somebody tell me the odds on that real quick. I'm interested. I'd be willing to get involved on that. And I ain't even trying to make too many bets. We've been doing good without, making too many bets every night. And I ain't trying to force nothing, but I do like that money line parlay. Clippers, Nuggets. Bruh, they took the Nuggets money line off mine. Clippers are -245, at least on BetMGM. At least on Bet365. All right, let's go through the prop plays real quick so you guys can get out. So I can get out of here. You guys can get out of here as well. I just want to see that money line parlay real quick. -23 on FanDuel for Clippers in Denver. I don't think that that's bad. I'd be willing to put a 1.23 units on it to win a unit. I like that. I could definitely see that. I'll write it down and keep it on the short list. All right. So, and then Houston +5. All right. Let's see. Go through the comments real quick. Big BG Platinum says, appreciate the time, man. Found you through J Money. Been tuning in ever since. Hope we all cash. Appreciate that, BG. J Money, my guy. Tasha says, take Houston money line. I ain't getting that frisky, Tasha. I'm good. Free Sauce says Jalen Williams assist potentially. OKC could be dangerous though. They can be absolutely. 77 figure says Houston plus 4.5 top play today. Free Sauce says Aiden just got ruled out. How about Golden State tonight? You got to go back and listen to the breakdown, Jermaine. I'm not on them though. Not on them tonight, especially with Kuminga being ruled out. Chris talked himself onto some money with the Houston pick. That's the way I see it, John. That's the way I see it, bro. I'm playing them. I'm about to play them. As soon as I play them, I'll send it out. Matthew likes the Nuggets first quarter minus the 2 and first half minus the 4 for him. 77 figure says he sprinkled on the Hawks minus the 10.5. They may score 160. Yeah, I couldn't talk you off that Atlanta team total over. If I'm gonna write that down. I'm not playing all these though. I know for sure I'm not. If DeJounte Murray gets ruled in, because without Aiden, this defense is not good. He's the only rim protection that they have. Hornets is still a scary play. I agree. Chris says he took Houston plus 7.5 earlier and bought a point to make it Houston plus 8.5. Hopefully it comes through. I've been riding them recently. Can't talk you off. Ideal number of tickets a day, Tyler says. For myself, Tyler, it just depends. I play as much as I love. Most of the time, I don't even play things that I like, and they cash sometimes. Sometimes I'm not a high value bettor. I like to be tuned in on 1 or 2 games and just watching those games. I got enough money on these games to where if I win a bet, I'm cool with how much I win in a day. So it's never I'm never super big. You won't catch me with 10 plays. That's not, unless it's 10 things that I absolutely love, but I haven't been doing a lot of volume lately. Jermaine says, how about Golden State? We just touched that. Wimby says clip nuggets for me is minus 113. That's a nice price, Wimby. Where you get that at? Andre says fading Clippers, they cost me so much money. Okay. Nuggets Clippers minus 109. Matthew says minus 110 on DraftKings. Kenny says so. Yeah, y'all got some good numbers, man. Appreciate you for tapping in, Jose. Best of luck, man. Enjoy the rest of your night, bro. Tasha says if you feel Houston will win, take the money line. Don't be afraid. Tasha, I'm chilling on that money line. But you're right though. I probably should put maybe I should put 0.75 on the plus 4.5 and a quarter unit on the money line. Maybe I'll do that. Mess around with Tasha tonight, man, and take that. Anthony says every time a star player is out, the team wins straight up majority of the time. Not every time, but you do make a valid point here, Anthony. I like them plus the 7.5 without them though. So Santonio says he took Knicks minus 13.5. Couldn't talk you off. Fancy K says early thoughts on the Bucks and the Pelicans tomorrow. Opened at 1.5 on FanDuel. Damn, I didn't even know it opened. I know it's only 2 games tomorrow, but I didn't look. Who's favorite? Let me check it out real quick. Oh, you know what? I got to go to the prop bets real quick. I see it all the way up to 2. Bucks are 2-point favorites. That's a game I think the total probably goes under. I need to check the spot for both teams, but Bucks coming off a deflating loss against the Lakers last night. Pelicans also coming off a deflating loss, but the Bucks are off back-to-back. They're off 2 overtime games. I'm typically fading that team. I know it's a bounce back spot, but you ain't just bouncing back against the Pelicans all the time. So I'll break the game down. I'll probably do a late night show or early morning show because there's only 2 games tomorrow. Thank God after today. But let's go. Let's get to the rest of these real quick. Andre likes Timberwolves first half minus the 8.5. Wemby says, I'm from Europe, bro. That sports book isn't available to you. I think. Sorry, but appreciate the picks. Nah, this goes out good. Wemby, appreciate you, man. Matthew says, Chris, what do you think about the Grizzlies plus the points? I think the Lakers win, but I think the Grizzlies could cover, Matthew. I definitely think that they could, man. I'm not into taking a team on the second leg of a back-to-back coming off a double overtime victory. Maybe a double overtime loss, you're going to be a little bit more motivated. The Lakers could be flat. And you got to think, man, I know I haven't looked into it, but every time the Lakers play an overtime game, they typically get smoked in the next game. That was something I failed to look at. I'm glad you asked, though. This is the way my brain been working. And when people ask questions, it make me start looking at angles. So Lakers, previous overtime, even if it's just more than one, this season, Lakers are 1-3 straight up off an overtime game, 0-4 against the spread are the Lakers, losing by an average of 10 points. They've been favorites three times. And they failed to cover all three of them, of course. The only one they won was against the Magic. They beat the Magic by 3 points, but that was at the beginning of the season. Actually, the second game of the season. Ever since then, lost. Lost to the Magic, lost to the Rockets, lost to the Nuggets. And none of them have been close. They lost by 10, 16, and 19. And granted, these teams are better than the Grizzlies, but the Lakers they don't play defense. And I think Anthony Davis could rest. So those are my thoughts on those games. Houston usually stink on the road. Are you sure about that pick? Or yeah, they've been better on the road. 5-3 straight up and against the spread since the All-Star break. So I like them here. Bond says way too early, way too many games for me to cap. Locked in on about 4 of them, and I'm done for the day. I like that. Tasha says, Chris, what do you think about the Chicago team total over under 115? I think they scored tonight, Tasha, but can you really trust Chicago's offense? Chicago was just playing against the Wizards, and they had like 9 points at the end of the first quarter. I can't trust their offense. I can't. They do have major matchup advantages, though. I talked about that. The Indiana Pacers don't like to defend the mid-range, and that's where Chicago typically lives. So I guess I play the over, Tasha, but it's not something that I'm thinking, man. I can't trust Chicago's offense. They were in a really good spot last game, and they absolutely got smoked against the Wizards as 13-point favorites. So when I think of Bulls, I typically don't think of points. They just can go in those droughts where they don't score. So 3 prop bets I wanted to talk about real quick before we get out of here. First one was Jalen Brunson. His assists, Jalen Brunson assists 6.5. We know Thibodeau plays his players into the ground. Brunson's averaging 30 minutes. So even if this is a blowout, I expect him to be able to play. The Knicks just beat Detroit by 25 points, and Brunson still played 30 minutes. So, and they were winning the game. At the end of the first quarter, the game was over with. That was against Detroit. This is a very similar opponent, in my opinion, as far as, difficulty level. So I like Brunson over his assists. He's had 7 or more assists in 3 of his last 4 games. Toronto's surrendered 7 assists or more to a few primary ball handlers over the last 7 games. Schroeder had 7, SGA had 8, Sabonis had 10, and Jordan Poole had 12. So I do like Jalen Brunson assists in this game. Could be a game where he potentially gets a double-double. All of these prop plays will be small sprinkles, though. Player props, you guys know if you've been rocking with me for a while, just super volatile, man. So I'll put a little bit on Jalen Brunson to go over 6.5 assists. I got it at -103 on Caesars this morning. These aren't official plays, though. Bradley Beal under 15.5 points. This line was at -105 on FanDuel. He scored 16 against Denver in the last matchup, but he shot just 6 for 18, and that was a game without without Devin Booker. So now you get an injured Bradley Beal, who I don't think is going to be 100% with that spring right finger. I don't think he's going to be as efficient. I don't think he's going to take as many shots. This, to me, screams Kevin Durant. It screams Devin Booker. So we got Caruso listed as available to play. Yeah, it looks like that's all right now. So yeah, I like Bradley Beal under his 15.5 points today. I really do like this number a lot. Probably my favorite player prop of the day. And then I was looking at Dort to go under his points and rebounds. I'm not taking that now without SGA in. But Dort has been really struggling. He's shooting about less than 25% over his last 4 games. So a small shooting slump for him. Also, he's going to be, really locked in on Jalen Green, trying to slow him down. So I think, the rebound opportunities won't be there because he'll be the primary ball handler trying to slow him down. And he's 2 for 3 to the under on his number in the 3 games that he's played against them. And he's just not really scoring the ball a lot either. You think about Houston, their 3-point defense has been really elite. Houston ranks top 5 in opponent 3-point frequency, and they're second in corner 3-point accuracy over the last 2 weeks, allowing teams to shoot just 27.7%. And that's where Dort shoots all his shots from. He's a corner 3-point shooter. So I was considering Dort under, but I don't like it as much without SGA in. So those are my thoughts, man. I am taking that though, Jamie. It's not a big bet, like I said, but I'm putting a little sprinkle on it because I did the research and it makes a ton of sense. Bradley Beal under. his 15.5 points. Definitely shop around, see where you can get the best number, because I looked at this one earlier. But shout out to my guy Jamie, because I know he watched the Propcast, because that's the only way he would have got that one. Let's see. Jazz team total over. Jazz team total, Cam says. Didn't say over or under. Yeah, I'm right there with Jamie. Don't trust Chicago at all. A lot of other things I like to do with my money. Brandon Clark will make season debut against the Lakers. Now look at that. Look at that. And LeBron James still ain't said whether he's gonna play or not, but he out here tweeting about his podcast. Vince Williams Jr. ruled out. John Conchar ruled out. Max Strus will start. Okay, so we are getting some breaking news. Mr. Ain't It Man says, appreciate the ads. Real Stoney, shout out to my guy. What up, Stoney? He likes Aldama and Jared Jackson Jr. 2 threes apiece. And Tasha says, stay away from the entire Lakers double overtime. I could not agree. But if you're going to take them, you definitely want to do it first half. So I couldn't talk you off. I'm not touching that game. Go Young DJ says, Hornets haven't gone over 98 points in 5 straight games. Do the Cavs hold them under again? I think so. So I'm going to talk about my late ads real quick in just a second. What else y'all got here? Nicholas Claxton double-double. Wemby says, Mr. Ain't It Man says, what you like for college basketball tonight? Absolutely nothing. If I can't deep dive into it, Mr. Ain't It Man, I don't play it, man. I don't mess with them kids, bro. Them kids is crazy. Yeah, not enough consistency for me. Himothy says Dort been off lately. I agree. Himothy also says DeRozan under first quarter points be smacking. And Tariq says Max Strus threes with him being back in the rotation. Okay. So here's what I added for today. You guys see, if you're watching on Twitter, if you're watching on YouTube, you guys see that I added, you guys see the Knicks first half minus 7.5. Like I said, I do expect them to be winning by double digits. As far as the other plays that I played the Toronto Raptors team total under 99.5. And then I added, what did I add since we jumped on the show? I don't even know what it was. What was it? I sent it to the members, right? It was on BetMGM, Bet365. Oh, it's Denver. Denver first half. Denver first half minus the 4. And all right, so those are 3 plays. Knicks first half, Denver first half, Toronto team total under. I am adding Houston plus the 5. That's for sure. The Clippers and the Denver Nuggets money line parlay. I might play it small. The Charlotte first half specific team total under. No, Tasha, I do not mean Houston money line. Charlotte first half team total under 50.5. I know it's a super low number, but it's first game back home after a 4-game road trip. I think that they do come out flat. So I like Charlotte first half team total under a lot in this game. Probably going to add it for a smaller play as well. So that's 3 plays, 3 more ads on top of 3 plays that I've made so far. That's already too much for me. Yeah. So one more time real quick. New York first half, Denver first half, Toronto team total under, Houston plus 5. That's 4 plays. Lakers, I'm sorry, I keep saying Lakers. Clippers and Denver money line. That's 5 plays. And I may put a sprinkle on Charlotte first half team total under 50.5. That'll be 6 plays for me today. If you guys want to know if I make them official, I gave you guys the plays I like. But if you guys want to know if I make them official, become a member, because they'll be in the membership section. Also, all live plays will be there too if I fire off on anything today. Somebody mentioned that Atlanta team total over. That could be a saucy look as well if DeJounte Murray plays. Wemby says, would you take under 97.5 for Toronto line? Nah, I wouldn't touch it at 97.5. 99 already scary, but they probably don't score 90 points in all seriousness. I just like getting the best of the number every time. And that's going to do it for the show today, man. I done did 2 shows today, all together, 3 shows today, all together about 5 hours of time. But I hope you guys appreciated the shows. I hope it was helpful for you guys, man. I hope you guys cash some tickets and we make some profit, because that's what it's all about, trying to cash these tickets, man. Here's some resources that I use to handicap the games. I'll finalize the card. I'm going to send them plays out in about 5 or 10 minutes. And hit the like button for me on your way out if you enjoyed the shows. Best of luck on all your action today. Bet responsibly as always. And we'll catch you guys. I'll catch you guys in the morning, just breaking down the two games between the two games that we got for tomorrow. So yeah, that's it, man. Y'all enjoy your nights. I'm out.